What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 27, and today we are returning with another Big Four games with Aston Villa as we try and continue our very decent start to the season. Today we are beginning the month of December, and these are our four games. First away against Newcastle, who aren't doing too bad right now in the game in mid-table, and then at home to unbeaten Spurs 6 days later. That is going to be an amazing game as we try and become the first team to beat Pochettino's boys this season. Then we'll have our first scout report from the USA after you guys voted for them to be the next nation we scout, so I'm looking forward to that day on the 12th. Then we've got Athletic Bilbao in the final game in the group stage, where if we avoid defeat we will top the group and head into the round of 32, but of course as we know we've already qualified. It just comes down to who wins the group. And our fourth and final game is a trip to London away against West Ham as well. So yeah, four pretty big games, these ones, quite tough ones as well. Let's dive into the first one. It's Newcastle away at St James Park. And so, as we jump into the first game of today's episode, we are indeed away at St James's Park to take on Newcastle United. We won our last two games in the Europa League and in the Premier League as well, but our last away game in the league was the defeat to West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorn. So this won't be an easy game for us to bounce back on in our travels. But taking on Newcastle, our normal league lineup with Rhian Brewster continuing to start and no place for Jonathan Kodjia. 2 in his last 2. Can he make it 3 in his last 3? Let's find out. Also, just really briefly on Newcastle, if I can. I have to say, in recent weeks, they've done so well to get themselves out of the relegation zone. They had such a miserable run in the autumn. And, you know, Benitez hasn't had the squad, hasn't had the signings this year. Everyone knows that. And to have only lost 1 in their last 6 in all competitions is really impressive. I got a friend. As shit flies at home. I got a friend who's a Newcastle fan. He goes to watch them play away from home every single time he can. And I got to say, I'm so pleased for him because the way that club has been run is nothing short of embarrassing. Mike Ashley is a fraud. I really hope he goes. I feel so sorry for the fans. They deserve so much better. Newcastle fans are really passionate. They deserve so much better. But yeah, I've got to say, for Benitez, to get them out of the relegation zone, whilst I do expect them to lose tonight, as most people do, and hopefully they do, because Sterling's my captain of my fantasy team, and I've got Sane as well. You know, like, I don't think that, you know, Rafa Benitez has got enough credit for clawing them out of the drop zone after such a horrible run. Anyway, it's 1-0 Aston Villa. We've gone in front, and right now Benitez is not getting the credit because his side are trailing early after Shook fires in front. 1-0 Aston Villa, and I'm liking this guy a lot. 2 goals already this season. Is there a single owner in this country that is hated more unanimously than Mike Ashley as Brewster on the ball looks for the run of Brereton, feeds him inside, lovely reverse pass, and that should be a straight red card. Chancellor Mbemba takes down Brereton, who would have been going through one-on-one. Oh, it's only a booking. That is a real stroke of luck there for the number 18, because Brereton's got the pace, and we've said this about 1,000 times in the series already. When he's in behind the back line, forget about it. He's going to score, we all know that. But Mbemba takes him down, trips him, takes one for the team, and that should be a straight red card. He was the last man. Can't believe this wasn't a red card though. Brewster with a lovely through ball, Brereton latching onto it. There was a man covering there, so maybe that's what the referee saw, because actually, in fact, he trips him there. Oh, actually, do you know what? That might not be a red card. Do you know what? I always hold my hands up and accept when I got things wrong. I think that he's still technically going to be the last man, because Brereton's got the pace and he's always going to outpace anyone. But there is a covering defender there as well. Maybe the referee actually called that spot on, and maybe I was wrong there. Jack Colback for Newcastle. Gets round Shook, and plays it through to Matt Ritchie. Lovely first touch, and oh, very unlucky there, the former Bournemouth man, from making it 1-1. Newcastle in the game doing alright, sitting in mid-table right now, and at the moment, they're not looking too bad in this game either. We have the early lead, but they've played some good football, and they're hustling quite a lot, winning balls back. Now, I wouldn't be surprised at some point seeing them getting back on level terms. Carl Brown through to Shook, can't control. And Newcastle get it back, just can't string passes together really in this first half. We may still be leading, we've not played too well as Tony goes down the right hand side and plays it in to Adam Armstrong, and Pepe Reina makes the save at the near post. Still 1-0, but to Newcastle's credit, they've actually played quite well in this first half. They're unfortunate to still be trailing as they look for an equaliser as Delph clears away that header. Barkley. I'll try and give it to Delph, who's coming forward, and Fabian Delph takes it in his stride, has Brewster with him, and oh man, I didn't know what to do there. Past the feet or through ball, should have gone with the former. And in the end, Brewster stopped running, and that's why we give the ball away as Armstrong on the ball finds Mikel Merino down the right-hand side. And the Spaniard trying to get past James Chester finds Adam Armstrong, past Dale Fry. Barkley with an interception and can't get it clear. And Armstrong's shot, first one is blocked, but the second one will not be stopped. Adam Armstrong with a wonderful goal makes it Newcastle 1, Aston Villa 1, and it's no less than they deserve. What a strike! When this kid was on fire for Coventry, in his first loan spell, I think it was his first loan spell, he seemed to have a really big future, and he still does if he's going to do moments like that. That is an absolutely sensational half volley, and Pepe Reina, who to be fair this season's been in fine form, has literally no chance. A prime Pepe Reina would have no chance with that one. Armstrong with the finish, and it's 1-1 as the Magpies level things up. No less than they deserve. They've actually been a better team in this one, despite trading for the majority of the game. But now they're back on level terms. Can they come from behind to find a winner? We don't play very well away from home, you know that. And a great chance here for a second goal, and Mikel Merino slips on the wet turf as Pepe Reina denies him low down to his left, and Merino is subsequently substituted for missing a golden chance. Still 1-1, but it's all Newcastle right now. We're hanging on in there for the point at the moment. Chester to Delph, into Grealish. Grealish to Barkley. Barkley couldn't play it out wide to Bustos in time. Lazar first to the ball, finds the goal scorer Armstrong. Now side there, tackle, but wins it straight back. And there's Adam Armstrong who fires it home to complete the turnaround. And they've done to us what we did to Ipswich and so many teams last season. And that is come from behind to take the lead. And this young striker doubles his goal tally for the season and on the game as well. 2-1, and they take the lead for the first time. Chester just couldn't get it clear after the tackle, came straight back to Sivet, lovely through ball, and Armstrong bags his brace. 2-1. Final minute of normal time about to be entered. We're still trailing by 1. Can we find a late equalising goal? Brereton to Lansbury, sends Bustos down the right. One final chance, it's Fabricio Bustos. Oh, cross wasn't the best, and that's something you don't ordinarily say with Fabricio. His deliveries are normally very good, but as stoppage time has now been entered, it seems like the points are in the bag for Newcastle, and they are going to claim a big victory. And there it is, final score, Newcastle United 2, Aston Villa 1. We were the kings of the comeback last season, but this year Newcastle have come from behind to claim the 3 points, and they fully deserve it as well. So much better than us. There was a slight bit of controversy 10 minutes in where Chancellor and Bemba was booked, and I was thinking off, definite red card, but actually the referee called it spot on second viewing. And because of Newcastle still having 11 men, they fought back valiantly to get those 2 goals, and no surprises that man of the match will go to Mr. Adam Armstrong, scoring the winner and the goal that got them back on level terms as well. And that first goal was a wonderful strike. 2-1 the final score, and for the second straight time away from home in the Premier League, we taste defeat. Just can't win on the road. And Rian has just come to me, which I wish they would have done when I was a kid, and said, I'm pretty content with the amount of minutes I'm getting out there, boss. Thanks. And don't worry about it, son. Like, you may not be as good looking as my crush back in the day, but hey, we still love you for scoring those goals. 2 in his first 3 appearances. Not bad for Brewster. Not bad at all. I did find it quite cute on the video when we signed Brewster. And I asked you for the name of your first ever childhood crush. It was nice seeing all the responses. Are you brave enough to comment your current crush? Are you brave enough to let me know the name of the crush you have at this moment right now? Let me know in the comment section down below. I want to see how many of you are brave enough to comment your crush on this video. Moving on to the second of 4 games today, and it doesn't get any easier after our loss at St James's Park. We now welcome Spurs, who are the league leaders right now and have a 7-point gap at the top of the table as well, with 10 wins from their first 13 games. They're off to a red hot start, but for us, 2 losses in our last 3 league games. We really need to get it sorted today. So 3-5-2 for the game, but a few changes, including in our back line. Zagadou coming into the centre-back role. Well, hopefully he'll help us deal the balls into the air towards Harry Kane. And also, Toby Lewis, 16 years old, starting for the first time today alongside Fabian Delph. As for Spurs' team, very good. Kane, Ali, Son and Lloris all involved. Just a really fantastic team, and you can see why they're top. Second game Spurs though, we're back at home. Let's get back to winning ways. Quite interested to see the debut of Lewis as well. Still got his shirt tucked in. I know you guys hate that, so I'll definitely change it as soon as I can. It's really interesting, like, that's one of the things that I always see commented on all of my youth players. Untuck the shirt, untuck the shirt, untuck the shirt. I've never really had that much of an issue with it though, because for me, like, I've said this a few times before, when I was a kid and I played junior football, I always had my shirt tucked in. My dad always used to say, tuck that shirt in, young man, because like it was always like a sign sign of neatness and tidiness, and maybe because I played in gold as well, it was not a distraction flapping around. But yeah, you guys really don't like the shirts tucked in. You always comment and say you got to untuck those shirts, man. It just doesn't look right. As Brereton tries his luck, Lloris makes the save. Still 0-0. Also, my dad did not sound like that. It was more like, tuck that shirt in, mate. You look like a scruffy git. Son to Dele Alli. Shoots. Oh, great save by Reina. And Marcus Edwards tracks down the loose ball, keeps it in play. But Palmer Brown is there to clear it. Straight back to Edwards. And now Ali receives the ball. Spurs putting us under pressure early here, as you would expect. Ali crosses, but straight to Pepe Reina. He's in for a busy afternoon. Today's captain, Pepe Reina, but hasn't kept a clean sheet in quite a few games in the league. That needs to change in this one, I'm sure, if we are to come through and get at least a point, as Kodjia tries to release Schupp. Scored at St James's Park. Can he score here at Villa Park as well? Great save by Lloris. And Brereton also denied by a fabulous double save by the Frenchman. Really good stop initially, but this one even better. Comes back to his goal line and somehow tips it over the bar as well. Wonderful save. Fry flips it on to Grealish, and Jack Grealish is going to go for goal there. Blocked, and that'll be our third corner of the first half. 37 minutes in. Can we take advantage here? Schupp's going to whip one into the centre. Looking for Zagadou. Oh! Now, there were 2 men at the far post there, and if Rose didn't make that clearance, that's 1-0. 2 men, one of them would have tucked it in. What a big defensive clearance by Danny Rose. I rarely ever show defensive highlights, but that was a brilliant interception by Rose, and a very key one, because we would have gone 1-0 up there had the left-back not made the interception. But it's Bustos on the ball! Oh, and that was a shot, not a cross. But he drags it wide the post. Still 0-0. Good end to the first half, though. Really good spell of pressure. So half-time, still tied at 0-0, but a good first half. I felt for the most part we were on top, and quite unlucky not to take the lead, but it is still 0-0, 45 minutes to play. Spurs have only stopped 3 times this season, haven't lost a game yet. Can we be the first team to beat Pochettino's men at the top of the table? Oh yeah, to Marcus Edwards. And now Skip into Ander Herrera, back towards Skip. And he'll play that wide towards Heung-min Son. Good through ball to Dele Alli. And the former MK Dons man gets inside. Fry is there though. We've defended very well in this game against the league leaders. But that was a silly pass. We've given Spurs a chance. Skip goes for goal. Oh, the other side of the crossbar. And then Kane flying in. Can only head it wide the post. Skip very close to giving Spurs the lead. Still 0-0. And now we're seeing why they're top of the table and 10 wins from their first 13. As things stand, it's going to be just 1 win in our last 4 league games. Not great form from Aston Villa after a very good start. And here comes Spurs again. Edwards down the right-hand side, trying to get space to cross. He does, and Son heads it just wide the post. He had quite a poor first half by their standard, Spurs, but now they're really coming at us. Our boys at the back will need to be so solid if we're to see out this clean sheet and the point. Delph to Schupp, and now through to Kodjia. I don't want the point now, I want all 3. I want all 3. Kodjia on the ball, turns, looks for Delph, getting in. Fabian Delph, yes! Fabian Delph turns it in. What a return for the ex-Aston Villa boys, Ashley Young and Fabian Delph. 1-0 to the Villa, and it's our number 6 who fires us in front. Jonathan Kodjia, lovely reverse step over, beats the covering defender, and what a through ball to pick out the driving run of Fabian Delph. Those high work rates and that high stamina, that's why he was signed, and he squirms it past Lloris, even though it was quite central, with the weaker right foot. Delph makes it 1-0, and are we set to become the first team to beat Spurs this season? Come on! We've beaten Arsenal, we've beaten Chelsea. Now can we hold on to beat the league leaders as well? There's Toby Lewis with the interception. What a great debut he's had, as Reina and Fry will get the danger away together. As we'll pass out from the back. Oh my word, 15 minutes to go. What a win this will be if we can get it. Jack Grealish on the ball, takes it over the halfway line, has Schupp and Kodjia out wide, goes to the former, and he'll find the latter. Down the left, can we whip it in again to the centre? Kodjia instead finds Schupp, who's inside. It's Alessandro Schupp. Oh, what a finish, and Schupp makes it 2-0, and that will surely do it. Aston Villa double their lead. It's 2-2 for our number 11, and Spurs are going to lose for the first time this season, courtesy of the Villa. Kodjia down the left, once again, brilliant work, picks out Schupp, cuts inside, and Lloris, who might have done better with Delph's shot, had no chance with that one. Brilliant finish, Aston Villa 2, Spurs 0, and surely 3 points for the Villa. Come on! Edwards over the top. Lewis is there. He's had a really solid debut, the 16-year-old, and that will do it. Final score at Villa Park, Aston Villa 2, Spurs 0. We are the first team to beat Pochettino's side all season long, and our really impressive home form continues. Only one loss in the league all series long, and 3 major scalps already this season. Chelsea, Arsenal, and our Spurs adds to the list as well. Come on. Full value for this win as well. We were fantastic in the first half, and very good in the end of the second half as well. There was a period in the second half between like the 50 to 65 minute mark where Spurs were on top, and I was thinking, oh god, they're going to score at any moment. But instead, our boys at the back line, after making the changes, really withstood the pressure, did very, very well, and what a big win for the Villa. But for man, I'm actually going to give it to Mr. Jonathan Kodjia. Didn't score a goal in this game, but set up 2 players, first Delph and then Shook for our 2 goals. And even if he's not scoring, he's still contributing. Gotta love that. 2-0 the final score. Massive, massive victory. And so just before our third of 4 games today against Athletic Bilbao, the final Europa League group game, we do have our first month's worth of scouting for our Irish 5-star youth scout based in America, which of course is the country you guys chose for us in the last 2 episodes. Victor Galfia could be okay. We'll continue scouting on him, but Andrew Cunningham can definitely go. Oh, I wanted to get off to a good start, but instead, there's no one good. Instead, Walter Bliska could be alright, but the overall is shockingly poor. And Josh Tremblay could be alright as well. Again, the overall's not the best. Like, I always say this, it's a real quick tip for those of you that are just starting to play career mode and start doing youth scouting as well. When you look at their valuation, whilst you can't see their overall unmarked until you put them in the academy, the valuation dictates how good they actually are at this moment in time right now. So 130 grand, 80 grand, and 100 grand, that's not bad. But that means those players are going to be in the 40s or 50s for overall, which Aston Villa isn't really good enough if they're going to break through and become part of the Villa Park first team at some point. But yeah, we'll continue scouting and hopefully they'll get better in the next month. So third of the 4 games today, and it's now time for our final Europa League group game in a battle between first and second here at Villa Park as we welcome Athletic Bilbao, the Spanish side right now, who are 3 points behind us. I'm pretty sure it's a head-to-head record that separates 2 teams if they're tied on points first before goal difference. So right now our goal difference is superior, but if Athletic Bilbao win, they should overtake us and move into first position in the group. We're still going to field a weakened side. There are 11 changes for the night. Even Reina is getting the night off this game, and Galini will fill in. Just because I'm not too fussed if we do drop down a second, as we're already guaranteed qualification to the knockout stages. So Bilbao, third of the 4 games, but let's get the point and let's top the group. Early free kick for the visitors, and a good chance here for Benyat to bend one in from 20 yards. He's got a man standing over the ball with him. He's going to lay this one off or go for goal. He's going to lay it off, and Vitinho strikes it. Oh, just over the bar from Vitinho, sporting a new shaved haircut. Still 0-0, but I don't want him scoring against us tonight. Not Vitinho, anyone but him. Lansbury through to Dempsey, and out wide is Carlos Heel, asking for more chances. He's got one tonight as he's on the ball and cuts inside. I had a contract in the summer, Carlos Heel. A little bit worried about that as Toure gets around one and shoots, and oh my goodness, Yaya Toure has scored 3 goals for this club, all in Europe, and they've all been absolutely amazing. 1-0 Villa, what a goal! This Ivorian can do no wrong. Takes it out of his feet, levers one from 25 yards, and the goalkeeper Kepa, who put on a masterclass in Spain, has absolutely no chance. Yaya Toure, what a goal, what a signing! First goal he scored for the club, wonderfully bent free kick in Austria against Sturm Graz. Second goal he scored for the club, amazing distance strike against Sturm Graz here at Villa Park. Third goal he scores for the club, an even better distance strike here against Athletic Bilbao in the group decider. I mean, Yaya Toure, he only scores screamers. San Jose through to Vitinho as Athletic Bilbao try and respond here, 11 minutes after the restart. Arias on the ball, cuts inside, finds space to shoot. Galini though had everything behind that one, as we are still leading by 1-0 courtesy of Yaya Toure's superb strike in the first half an hour. Can we find a second goal and rat these points up now? Hepburn Murphy to Lansbury, sorry, Dempsey even. Now Toure back towards Gillespie. And Gillespie to Toure. And Toure on the ball, on the turn, on the move. Toure still. Can he do it again? Yaya Toure, oh! Worth a go, and why not? The Ivorian right now can't stop scoring from range. I love our back three at the moment. It's so unconventional. You got Pajac, a free agent right back, Gillespie, a free agent centre half with no potential whatsoever, and in the centre back role, in the central position, it's Yaya Toure who's now dropping deep to help out the back line as well. Can this unconventional trio see out the clean sheet as we try and see out the 3 points? Hepburn Murphy, Ryan Brewster. This will do it. It's Brewster. Oh, Kepa, brilliant save. and still 1-0. And once again, like in Spain, he's single-handedly keeping his team in with a chance of playing with a point. So that will do it then. Final score in the final Europa League group game, and we stay undefeated throughout the 6 games as well, as we top the group with a win on the final day over Athletic Bilbao. Definitely deserved it, much better team, and the goal we scored as well, an absolute wonderful strike from Torre. Interesting game though, because we dominated possession in this one. Bilbao barely had the ball. When you look at our shots, the vast majority fell from outside of the area, but that was where we scored our goals. You can't really blame me for shooting from range so much. And for man of the match, no surprise, Yaya Torre. What a game he had, scoring a wonderful winning goal, 100% of his passing, and towards the end of the game was moved into the centre-back role and helped us secure the 3 points as well. He's only here for a season. We'd love him for another one though. He's been fantastic, Torre, as we top the group with 16 points. What a fantastic group campaign. And as we now head into the 4th and final game of today's big episode, we now take on West Ham away in London, where if we can win this game, we will move into the top 4 to end today's episode off. So let's end on a really big positive and get the 3 points tonight. So 11 changes from our win on Thursday night, back to our normal league lineup as Zagadou once again plays in the centre-back roles. I'm liking this youngster a lot, and Pepe Reina will once again wear the armband in James Chester's absence. West Ham, 4th and final game. Let's get those 3 points. Let's move into the top 4. Almost half an hour in. Not a great start to this game. Still tied at 0-0 as Shinji Kagawa gets onto the ball. And Kagawa finds Andre Ayew. And Ayew spots the Japanese midfielder in space, and that was a really tame effort by the former Borussia Dortmund and Manchester United man. Very poor attempt there. Maybe his foot got caught in the wet turf, not entirely sure, but Reina, simple save, and a bit of an escape for Aston Villa there, because they would have been through as Dempsey finds Brereton. And speaking of being through, it's Brereton coming inside and firing it just wide the post. Antonio across to the middle, headed clear by Schupp. Still 0-0 with 5 minutes to go in the half. Can we find a breakthrough and get in front just before the break ourselves? Brereton to Kodjia. Kodjia with 1 man to beat here. Finds a little bit of room. Can he get a shot away? Jonathan Kodjia, off the post. And cleared by Oliver Burke as well. So unlucky from Kodjia. He's trying out there, but he just can't seem to break the goal drought and notch another one up for us. Delph to Barkley. And that's great work from Ross there to find Jack Grealish as well. And out to Kodjia. And Kodjia turns and gets a shot away as well. Oh! Poor Jonathan, man. He's done it again. Hit the post for the 2nd time in this game. He's trying. The hustle's there. The work rate's there. But just can't find that goal. Bustos. Grealish. Pope beats it away. Still 0-0. Poor Kodjia. Into the final 5 minutes. Is there still time for either team to find a late winning goal? Or will it end up as a stalemate? Shinji Kagawa down the right-hand side. Pokes it into Javier Hernandez. And Kagawa to Mark Noble. Noble to Winston Reid, fall for the attack. It's the New Zealand defender crossing, and it's a corner for West Ham with 13 seconds of normal time to play. Come on, don't throw away at least a point here. Kagawa's corner. Hernandez, what a block by Tyler Adams. Tyler Adams with a huge block. Make sure that we will claim a point and not lose for the 3rd straight away in the Premier League. What a block by the American. And that is going to do it. Final score, West Ham 0, Aston Villa 0. We end with a stalemate. I think our first 0-0 of the season, but at least it's not 3 losses in a row away from home in the Premier League. And it is back-to-back clean sheets. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take that point. Weird game though, because the stats suggest West Ham playing much better. Really, I thought it was quite balanced. We hit the post twice in this game, and I really did feel as though it was an even match, and a draw was the right result in the end. So 0-0 the final score, and for man of the match, it's quite difficult, but I thought Kagawa pulled the strings for West Ham quite a lot in this game, created their chances, but thankfully couldn't help them get a goal that would have won them the game. So that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have enjoyed today's double episode upload day, then please do drop a like. Most love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon. We'll find out our Europa League round of 32 opponents, and also the January transfer window will open as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.